today, Willow and I are going to show you how to make a really easy worm farm that's small enough to fit under a cabinet and gives you the opportunity, there you are, gives you the opportunity to compost. Came here, baby. So you can compost your old kitchen scraps, and the worms just love it, and kids love it too. So we're going to show you Willow's worm farm. Okay. All right. So this is our worm bin that we made, and very shortly we're going to show you how to make one of these for your own house. But it really just consists of, you only need 2 tubs. We had an extra one, and we already have some food scraps in there. Don't touch it, Babu. So let's take a look. Oh yeah. One of Willow's favorite things to do is pick up the baby worms. What are their names, Willow? Did you give them names?
Squiggles.
Yeah, they're all named Squiggles, which makes it really easy. So we're going to make an extra worm bin for our friends, Kat and Scott, because we have a lot of baby worms in here, and we need to thin it out. So this is doing so well that we need to thin it out, and we'll put some compost in the garden. But as you can see, it's just got our kitchen scraps, which they love, some lettuce, bananas, and look at how well they're doing. No, not your hands, please. So we have a lot of worms. Yeah, Willow wants to hold them. So let Mommy get one for you. Let Mommy get one for you, because there's a spider. Yeah, there was a spider in there. Okay, so they're actually doing really well. I think they're a little bit crowded. So worms are actually pretty particular about their environment. If it's too hot or too cold, they start relocating themselves, or if it gets too crowded. And let's see if we can zoom in here. There's a lot of babies in there. There's a lot of babies in there, which means they're happy, because happy worms reproduce, but that means we need to thin it out. Whoops. So Willow's throwing worms. So we're going to show you how to make a very easy worm bin that you can do in one afternoon. And it also is really good to teach kids about the environment and respect for their fellow creatures and composting. Willow, what do you think about your worms? Do you like your worms?
I like them.
Yeah. What do you like best about them?
Worm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we learned how to be gentle and how helpful they are to us, and how to throw them. Which is that's gonna be a really good skill when you get into school and those boys start messing with you. You know how to throw worms. You're gonna be all right. Okay, so really quickly, before we packed up, Willow wanted to see the worm poo-poo. So we call it worm poo-poo, but it's actually like worm tea. So we're just going to show that really fast. And this is really good once you dilute it. You can, it's great fertilizer for the garden. So let's see if we can get in there. Okay, let Mommy do it, my love. So we lift this up, and we'll show you how to accomplish this. You can see that in there. But down at the bottom there, that liquid is worm tea, and it's basically, well, worm poo-poo, worm pee-pee. I'm not really sure which one they do, but the garden loves it.
I don't want to see a worm.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
I see a worm, Mama.
We're going to put them away and show everybody how to make a worm bin of their own. Okay, to make this worm bin, what you'll need is you'll need 2 storage totes, I got these. These are 10 gallons each. You can make them larger or smaller depending upon your compost needs and your storage limitations. But I found that these size, the 10 gallon works well for what we need it for. So since Kat and Scott live in an apartment, we're going to make it small as well. So 2 10-gallon totes is what we're using with the lids. You actually only need 1 lid, but you'll have an extra lid if you need it. Your safety goggles, because you're going to be using your drill with a large drill bit. And I'm not very good at tools. I'm not sure. That's a big one. That's all I know. That's a big one to make a big hole. But it doesn't have to be specific. We're just using a big one. I don't know if that's a technical term, but it works. Some newspaper that we're going to shred up. The Sacramento Bee. All right. And I'm just using this plumber's tape here to cover the holes. I'll show you how that works. I can't find the end, but it you can use mesh if you have any sort of mesh, just something to cover the holes that we're going to drill so our worms don't escape. You don't want them to. You don't want them to want to escape, but you always got a few renegade worms. You don't want them to get out. And I'm going to use some just duct tape. And then to start it off with, it's nice to have some already done compost. This is from the compost, our compost bin outside. So some starter compost is nice for them to work with. Okay? Oh, and I almost forgot. You're going to need 2 bricks to stack your bins. So we're going to work fairly quickly because it's starting to rain. Safety goggles on. And here we go. Ready to host our worms. I'm going to take our newspaper and we're just going to tear it up into like 1-inch strips. Okay. This will provide a nice bedding for them. It will also ensure that they don't fall out through the holes that we have exposed and uncovered here at the bottom. So I just tore those in about 1-inch strips and then I tore them in half. Okay, so I'm going to put my strips in a little bucket here because we're going to wet them before we put them in the bin. Once you get it in your nice little bucket here, we're going to add some water. So you don't want it soaking wet, you just want it damp. Kind of like a wrung out sponge. That's probably the best way to. Okay, so once you've got it nice and damp, I'm going to just put it here at the bottom of your compost, of your worm bin. Okay, so this is our worm bin from the house, and let's see. All right, so this has been really great for us. And our worms have been really happy, but you can see they're trying to get out a little bit. And worms usually try to get out for a couple different reasons. Generally speaking, if they're uncomfortable. Look at that guy. He's making a serious break for it. Generally, if they're uncomfortable, meaning that their environment is either too hot, too cold, too wet, too dry, or too crowded. In this case, I think they're too crowded. So we're going to thin them out and put them in their new home. Okay, guys. Okay, so I'm going to keep some of the compost where they're already at, so at least there's something that they're used to. This compost is actually a little bit dry in here, so I'm just going to wet it very lightly. Just a little bit. And then I'm just going to scoop up. And I don't know if you can see this. You can see how crowded they are. Poor guys. They really need to thin out. There's a lot of babies there. So I'm just going to put them right in their new home. This is actually the second time we've thinned these out since we've had them. So they're doing really well. But okay. So basically what I'm doing is I'm scooping them up. I'm just scooping up what I have. And if you can see that in there, you've got worms, you've got beautiful, beautiful compost, and there's still some food particles in there as well. Look at that. They really like to clump up. They really like to clump up. Look at that. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Okay, so we want to make sure they have some food to snack on before they get to Cat and Scott's house. So we have just some green bean snippings, and we use all organic food, so that way you know your compost is organic for your organic garden. We've got some green bean snippings, a couple strawberries. This isn't very much, but it'll get them started. And to wish them a beautiful bon voyage from our home. We're going to miss you guys. I have some rose petals from the rose bush. We'll sprinkle those in there. Again, we don't spray anything on our plants, so these are all organic. This is just to wish them a peaceful journey to their new home, and to thank them for providing such a valuable service to our household, and to wish them good luck and many blessings in their new home. So here I am in my friend Kat's apartment. Hi, Kat. Bringing them the worm bin, the worm farm. So there it is that we put together with their holes for breathing. And there they are in there, and
they're swimming in flower petals.
Yeah, we gave them some rose petals from the backyard to wish them a bon voyage and to thank them for their service to the household. So they're actually in there. There's a lot of them in there. They're kind of hiding because they don't really like to be bothered. And there's newspaper down there, and I did put some little scraps in there. But they're all pretty much probably in the newspaper, and there's quite a few of them. Yeah. So we really thinned it out. There was really quite a bit to thin out. And then what'll happen is the newspaper starts to disintegrate and you start building and building and building. They'll really become more prevalent. And they're still getting accustomed to this environment because we pulled them out of one bin and introduced them to some new stuff. So once they get accustomed to it, then you'll start being able to see them more. Other than that, they're pretty happy guys. These are happy worms.
It'd be great. Yay.
So there you have it.
Thank you. Worms and rose petals.
Worms and rose petals. A woman's dream.
It is.